Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh. Hopefully you can hear me. This is the little routine we do each week where we see if you can hear me at all. I see the little microphone, so it does seem like there's a little bit of sound. You guys, I am so excited to share this with you. This is really, really cool. I would like to dedicate this to my spirit sister who lives in Denmark. We're the same person. But she is Iranian. Her family is Iranian. They live in Denmark. She speaks like 5 languages, and we're like the same person. So I feel so blessed to know her. And we have been, well, I decided that I was going to get a book of Persian music, and I found this on thrift books, which I often use for finding books, but I didn't realize they had music as well. So I bought 2 copies of this, one for her and one for me. And can you guys hear me still? Please tell me if you can hear me, because suddenly I feel like there's no sound. Okay, if you can't hear me, please let me know. If you can hear me, if you can't hear me, let me know. So I was telling her about this, and then we started talking about all this magical history with Persia. I've read a little bit about the history of Persia. In America, we really don't learn anything about this part of the world. And so I thought, why don't we do a little exploring, see if we can find it on a map to start with. And then I have the most beautiful piece. This is a magical piece, the national anthem of Iran from 1896, I think it is. It's somewhere around there. The words are beautiful. The music is beautiful. I have a little rattle to put on my foot, and I shall try my very best to play it. Oh, hey, Chris. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you can hear me. Good, good, good. Okay. So let's first figure out where this beautiful, blessed country is. Um, Trying to find a better map. Why don't we look here? There we go. One of these days, I'd love to figure out how to share my screen so that we can actually see things a little bit better together rather than like this way. So let's zoom in here. Here we have Saudi Arabia. Right, we have the Red Sea. We've got Egypt over here. And then we've got Iraq here. And we've got Iran here. And we have Afghanistan here, Pakistan here. Let's see. What is this sea called? This is the Caspian Sea, right? Caspian Sea, yay. We got the Black Sea over here. We have the Mediterranean Sea and Greece over here. So Iran, right in the middle there. And Iran, I believe, is basically where the ancient Persian Empire was. And there's some really magical old buildings there. Have you ever heard of Persepolis? Let's see, I think I found a picture of this somewhere. Here's some magical pictures of ancient Iran. And actually, here in Philadelphia, there's a museum of anthropology and archaeology, and they've got some of these magical statues of like the genie. Let's see, from ancient Persia. On a side note, Persian women have been known for thousands of years to be extremely beautiful. Alexander the Great married a Persian woman. Her name was Roxanne. She was his favorite wife. Here was the Persian Empire back in the day. So this orange would have been the Persian Empire here. And here's an example of ancient Persia. The Greeks, they always had something to say about the Persians because they disapproved of their luxury. The ancient Persians had so much wealth. They had these elaborate buildings, super tall, great big buildings like Persepolis. So they were known for math and science and astronomy and engineering and beautiful fabrics and all sorts of things. Zoroastrianism is is, I believe, one of the oldest religions in the world, if not the oldest religion. That comes from Persia. It's a dualistic religion that believes in the good and evil and the ultimate triumph of good, hopefully. In the end, it's just Persian carpets. Let's do a brainstorm. What are all the things we can think about with Persia? So Aladdin, Persian rugs, tea. Let's see, Cyrus the Great, Alexander the Great, marrying Roxanne, and unfortunately conquering Persia. What else do we have? We've got the beautiful Persian women. I'm probably missing like lots of important things. But anyway, is it just an interesting, beautiful place? Iran has been through a lot of things. So I'm going to be dipping my toe into something that I know about this much about. But let's take a picture of Iran in 1960. This is some pictures. And I'm trying to make sure that you can actually see. So here we go. Here's some pictures of some women in 1960 in Iran. They got their skirts, they've got their legs, they've got their, bikinis and their bathing suits and their skirts and high heels and makeup and looking really beautiful. Here we go. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful clothes and just being fabulous. So this is 1960. And let's take a look at 1980. So 20 years later. Looks a little different. This is something that we don't learn about in America. We really don't learn about this history at all, which is once again why I'm dipping my toe into this. But in 1979, there was a revolution in Iran, and many people left. And the religion of peace took over. And now they spend their time arresting women for handing out flowers on trains for International Women's Day, arresting them for 35 years, and all sorts of terrible things. So that sounds like fun, doesn't it? Don't you want to live there? Anyway, so in 1896, the Iranian national anthem was very, very beautiful. It had the most magical words. And I just want to read you these words, and then we'll attempt to play it for you because it is such a beautiful piece. It is going to make you dance. If I can play it right, it will make you dance, hopefully. So here we go. This is called the Persian National Anthem from 1896. My homeland, oh my existence, my passion and ecstasy appear in the sky like eternal love. Hear my pathetic words that I'm unanimous with you, all my soul and life, my homeland, my homeland, my homeland, my homeland. Hear my pathetic words that I'm tuner of this grass, singer all my soul and life, my homeland, my homeland, my homeland, my homeland. All with the same identity, but with different languages and skin colors, all with the same identity, but with different languages and skin colors. All people are happy and blissful and singing because of the strength of the young Iran. It's so beautiful. It just makes you teary to read that. So let's hear this beautiful piece. And I would be curious to know what your thoughts about Iran are. What are some things that pop into your head about this country? Do you know anything about this country? Have you ever been there? Do you have family from there? Do you know the magical ancient history of Persia? I mean, do you have a Persian carpet? They're very expensive. They're very, very expensive. Okay, here we go. I will link this for you. If you want to look for the Persian national anthem, I will link it for you later. I'm not sure how to show you where it is now, but anyway, I'm gonna put my little jingly foot thing on. It just goes right on your foot. There we go. Okay. This goes out to my dear friends in Denmark, my spirit sister there and her family, and to all of you who love Persia. Yay, the Persian Empire. All the beautiful souls of Persia. It's so beautiful. I love this piece. This piece will now be stuck in your head. You will hear it as you fall asleep, and you will hear it when you wake up in the morning. And you're like, what is this magical tune? What is this magical tune? That was the Persian national anthem from 1896. And one of these days I'll get better at using this thing, but I'm not very good at using it. I will link that after our live stream is over so that you can play it too. It's actually written for piano, this arrangement, and I'm playing it on the viola, pretending the viola is a violin. So I'm sure you'll figure out how to play it. But let's see your comments here. So Kenya's here, Chris is here, Player One GT. It's amazing you know all these. Oh, thank you. Kevin Bailey Jr. Hi. Player One Shaw the King. Oh, lovely. My sister Violet uses that name also. Very nice. Islam messed up Iran. Not a bit. Anyway, I can see you're talking to each other. That's so fun. That's so fun. Well, it's a beautiful and interesting part of the world. And like kind of reading a little bit about this beautiful country, like it's actually been pretty, I don't know if cosmopolitan is the right word, but like in the national anthem, they talk about about all the various languages of Iran and all the various skin colors of people that actually live there, the beauty of the land, the beauty of the people. I mean, that's really, really special. So that's what makes me think like, wow, it must have been a pretty cosmopolitan place to have all these people with different languages. And my friend, she sent me this article about 12 great women of ancient Persia. So the only woman, or there's two women that I can think of from ancient Persia. One is Roxanne, the wife of Alexander the Great. And the other one is Scheherazade. I believe Scheherazade, the 1001 Arabian Nights. You know Scheherazade. So Rimsky-Korsakov wrote this beautiful orchestral suite called Scheherazade, and one of my favorite pieces from that is the Prince and the Princess. We learned this on Patreon a little while ago, and it comes up around in lessons because it's such a pretty piece. But it's so magical. If you haven't heard Scheherazade, you should go and listen to Scheherazade. It is a magical, I keep using that word, it's my only word that I know, magical adventure in sound. Scheherazade. So that was called The Young Prince and the Princess, which I should probably link for you too. So when we're over, I need to link the national anthem and Scheherazade. And let's read a little bit of this article about the 12 great women of ancient Persia. And also listen, I mean, if you're in the chat there, I want to hear your thoughts of Persia. Have you been to Persia? Have you been to Iran? Do you know anything about this part of the world? Or do you know absolutely nothing about this part of the world, as most of us, unfortunately, we know nothing. I don't know what we learn actually in America. we learn how to use a credit card. Yes, we learn how to use a credit card. So women in ancient Persia had more rights and greater freedom than any other civilization, including, according to some scholars, even ancient Egypt, which is famous for its respect for the feminine principle in religion as well as daily life. So you know how we always uphold Greece as the epitome of democracy and everything. And of course, I love ancient Greece, but I just want us to know, I learned this recently, that in Greece, in Athens, guess how they treated their women? If you were a woman, you were locked in your house. You were literally locked in your house. If there was a funeral, you couldn't go to the funeral until you were, like, at a certain age, like, maybe, like, 60 years old, like, 50 years old. You couldn't actually go to a funeral or, like, public thing, because you might fall in love with someone else, and in, Greece, family lineage was so important, the order of the children, the son, the eldest son, all of that, and it just would have caused chaos, so they were very good at locking their women up in ancient Athens. Not so much in Sparta. Interestingly, Sparta, not as much, but, women in ancient Persia, it says here, had more rights and greater freedom than any other ancient civilization, including Egypt, which is famous for its respect for the feminine principle in religion as well as daily life. Persian history was an oral tradition. However, until the Sasanian Empire, 224 to 651 AD, Common Era, and so most of what is known of ancient Persian culture comes from the Greeks, whose historians usually present the Persians unfavorably. Herodotus, who's read Herodotus? I think my spirit sister's probably read Herodotus, or she knows of Herodotus. Herodotus routinely depicts the Persians as luxurious and their women as manipulative schemers who seemed to have an unnatural control over their men. In reality, Persian women were no less scheming than women of any other culture. I'm just thinking of, wasn't there something that we read recently that was talking about women and how there was something that I read recently, I think it was on a live stream, was talking about women. Oh, yes, it was the cowboy song. It was the cowboy song, and it was like an homage to the power of women, but like, it's funny. It's talking about how women, like, ruined the life of this poor cowboy. His love for this, immoral woman, it ruined his life and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, okay, sorry, I'm getting on a tangent. Cowboy tunes. We'll talk about those again another time, but, women being scheming. Okay, Persian women were no less scheming than women of another culture, um, as are depicted by male historians. Persian women had almost equal rights with men, and in many instances, more freedoms and benefits. Many Persian women exercised almost or total autonomy and ran their own businesses, supervised male subordinates in the workplace, and served as commanding officers in the military. By the way, this is from worldhistory.org. So if you're wondering where this article is from, worldhistory.org. And there's a whole list of these women here, and unfortunately, none of them maybe Kassan. I'm going to try to read some of them, but I know it's maddening to listen to someone try to pronounce things they just have no hope of pronouncing. But there's a long list here of women from ancient Persia, powerful women. One of them is the queen, the wife of Cyrus the Great, 550 to 530 BC, the founder of the Achaemenid Empire. The other one here is the daughter of Cyrus the Great. So that's interesting. Oh, here's a beautiful statue of her. Look at that. So beautiful. Artemisia, the first of Caria, the best-known woman warrior of the Achaemenid period, an admiral in Xerxes the First's navy. Artemisia the First, this is in 480 BC. Artemisia the First is famous for her valor at the Battle of Salamis, toward the end of Xerxes the First's invasion of Greece in 480 BC. According to Herodotus, Artemisia I was the only member of Xerxes I's war council to advise against engaging the Greeks in a sea battle at Salamis. She suggested he hold back and starve the enemy into submission through a blockade. Xerxes the First is said to have appreciated her advice, but proceeded with the battle anyway, during which, even though she had advised against it, Artemisia the First fought skillfully. Xerxes the First navy was defeated at Salamis, signaling the beginning of his wider defeat and the failure of the invasion. And so he would have done well to have listened to Artemisia the First. After the battle, Xerxes entrusted her with the safe return of his illegitimate sons to Persia, and she vanished from history afterwards. She had become regent of Caria for her young son, who I can't pronounce his name, sadly, I'm so sorry, after her husband's death, sometime before Salamis, and so mostly likely returned there to continue her reign until her death. This must have been a movie. This is a modern take on her. Artemisia of Caria. So interesting. So anyway, let's look back one more time at a couple things. Let's look at this map of Iran. Here we go. Because once again, most of us in America know literally nothing about the world. And so why don't I zoom out a little bit? So this is Africa. This is Africa here. And then we've got Europe over here. My friend is over here in Denmark. Where's Denmark? There we go. She's over there. She's right there. And that's where her family went after the terrible revolution in 1979 in Iran. So many people left their beautiful country, and now their country is here, but they can never, their country is not the same country that it was. I can't even imagine that. I mean, can you imagine how heartbreaking that would be? It makes me want to cry. Anyway, this beautiful country. So we've got Egypt one more time. We got the Red Sea. You've got Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, Turkey, Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, and let's see. So here's another little landmark. So this little body of water right here, we've got the Caspian Sea, and right below the Caspian Sea is Tehran, which I believe is the capital of Iran. And so you can just remember, underneath the Caspian Sea is Iran, and then to the west of the Caspian Sea is the Black Sea, and then you've got the Mediterranean and Greece, and you've got, let's see, what else do we have over here? Israel, that's in everybody's mind here. Jerusalem, Syria. You see, there's just so much that we just don't know about the world in America. In America, we're in this little bubble, and we actually have the luxury to worry about things that don't matter at all. So anyway, let me see your comments here. Ray, oh, hey, Ray. Good job, Amber. Loving this tune. I've been on a Waltz book kick as of late, and this sort of gives me those vibes. That's cool. Yeah. Oh, Chris says, women are warriors. Yes. Kenya says, insecure, ancient, and modern men have fragile egos. Oh my gosh. Many historical examples of attempted subjugation of women, but we still rise. Yeah. And you know what? There's so many strong men out there that have given their lives to protect actual peace and actual freedom, and we owe them that. We owe them so much. We actually should really take time to appreciate that we have the lives that we have, because without them protecting our freedom, we would not be free. It really takes a blood sacrifice to actually have freedom, which is another thing that in America we're just so shielded from, thankfully, but I don't know that we really appreciate it. It's so easy to take things for granted. when we're living in our little bubbles here. So anyway, you guys, I want to thank you so much for this special little time together today. Before we wrap up, we had a magical guest artist class with a fiddle player from Cape Breton. And actually, don't leave, because I'm going to tell you about a thing that we're going to do as a studio, and I would love to invite you to it as well. In August, this coming August, the first week of August, we're going to be going to the Gaelic College. Let's see if I can find the Gaelic College in Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. So here we go. Gaelic College in Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. It looks like this. The first 2 weeks, actually, but the first week I think is what we'll probably aim for. They have an adult session where you can learn about music, you can learn dance, you can learn weaving. They have Gaelic songs you can learn. You can take some harp lessons. And they've got this just amazing, magical college there. Our guest artist class with Margie was just magical. It was so beautiful. The recording of that is over on Patreon, along with the archive of all of our guest artist classes. But if you scroll down, I'm talking about the Gaelic College in Cape Breton, Canada, Nova Scotia. We'll look at a map and see where it is in a minute. But on the website, I will link this to you in our live stream. You just scroll down and you go to this little blue one here that says Learn Something New. And it says Explore Adult Programs. This right here, Explore Adult Programs. So you just click on that. And they talk about all the things that they have. You can learn online, you can learn in person. But one of these options is it's over here. One of these options is the adult session. So I'm going to click on session 1, summer adult session 1. This is from this year. So you can't register yet, but we will be definitely going there. It'll be amazing. So last year, the first session was August 5th to the 9th, 2024. This is the calendar. You can stay there. The pricing, if you want to stay there and have room and board and all of your meals, it was $950 to $1,000 with tax Canadian. So that's like, I don't know, $700 American. I don't know. I'm not very good, but it's with conversions. But anyway, if you ask Siri, how much is $1,000 Canadian in US dollars? That would be basically how much it would be for a week. You don't have to stay there. You don't have to get your meals there. So you could just come as like for a day pass. So the tuition is $375, meals or $80 or $450 plus tax for the day. I think that maybe there's some online stuff you can join, but like here's an example of the calendar. So let's see the subjects. These are some of the subjects here. Gaelic subjects, fiddle, piano accompaniment, piping, I'm assuming that's the bagpipe, step dance, I'm not sure what this is here, harp, guitar accompaniment, weaving, and they kind of group it by like beginner or intermediate or fast or slow or whatever. They kind of have a way of describing everything, but they're just so nice there. They're just so nice. And Cape Breton is like literally a heavenly island in Canada. Okay, so here we are. We were over here talking about the lovely country of Iran. Now we're going to go over here. Okay, here's America. And here is Canada. But Cape Breton is right over here. Oop. Oh, here. Yep. Nova Scotia. That's right. So here's Maine. Here's me. Where am I? I'm in Pennsylvania. Wherever Pennsylvania is over here. I'm in Pennsylvania. So you could take a plane or you could drive all along the coast here. Get some lobsters. Get some, seafood. Have a great time. And then just pop over here to Nova Scotia. And here's Cape Breton Island. It's this beautiful little island. I think there's an airport somewhere, but the Gaelic college is like somewhere in here, somewhere in this little island. And I'm trying to figure out how I can show you pictures. Let's look at some pictures really quickly. So Cape Breton. Look at this. See how beautiful this island is? And you'd just be whisked away to heaven, basically. Talk about a peaceful place. So anyway, that's my evil plan for us this summer is to go have a beautiful cultural experience, cultural musical experience in Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. I didn't really realize that area was settled by a lot of Scottish immigrants, and so a lot of the music has that kinship with Scotland and Gaelic history and culture. I mean, it's really lovely. So if you're interested in that, um, if you want to stay in the loop with any of the things that we're doing with the studio, guest artists in the future, next month we're going to have someone talk about strings. We're going to learn about strings next month in December. We've also got a virtual recital in December. So if you would like to come and support some of our beautiful souls here and listen to them play, we also have an in-person recital the second Saturday of December over there in the library in Media. And we also have our last quarterly in-person ensemble class. So every quarter, we get together and we play music. I have assigned it. We've practiced it. We have recordings that we've played along with. And if you want to stay in the loop with any of that, please email me or pop over to Patreon or whatnot. But I will stop rambling. I hope you have a magical weekend. This was so special. I hope that I did it justice and it made you curious about this part of the world. I hope it made you want to go buy a Persian rug. Maybe a lamp and have a genie come out and give you some wishes. And with that, I'll see you all very soon, you guys. Lots of love, and I will look forward to our next little live stream, hopefully next Friday. I think next Friday I have plans though, so I might not see you next Friday, but I'll see you soon. Lots of love, you guys. Bye. Bye-bye.